Now we're going to look at the long division pages. In this video, I'm going to be using long division with the grid J. So if you want to pause the video and get this exact page, you can. But it won't matter. The process is the same. And for each page, you'll be following the same 3 steps. Okay? The first thing we're going to do is label each problem on the page. And I could label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could label them A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm just going to choose to label them problem 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now that I've labeled each problem, the second thing I'm going to do is use a sheet of scratch paper. Just a normal sheet of notebook paper that I take and label like so. Putting long division and making sure to include this letter. And then of course you're going to label your paper on 4 lines with your first name, your middle, and showing your last name. The date, your class, and the motto. Perfect practice makes perfect. So once you have labeled each problem, and once you have your sheet of scratch paper, you're going to work each problem out, and then of course you're going to check each problem. So let's get started. We're going to look at the first problem. The first problem says, use division to create 3 equal-sized groups from 8,742 items. I'm going to use division to create 3 equal-sized groups. And so I'm going to write problem number 1 here and label it. I'm going to draw my groups on this sheet of paper. No. 1, 2, 3 groups. And I'm going to use place value, because place value is the key to breaking these problems down. Number is 8,742, and so I'm going to start with just my thousands digit. 8,000. So I'm going to pass out thousands to each group until I can't pass out thousands evenly to each group. I'm going to use the letters TH for thousand, just like we do in class. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, and then can I go again? 7,000, 8,000? No, because I ran out of thousands. And so I could pass out altogether 6,000s. I've passed out 6 thousands. And so I'm going to subtract the 6 thousands that were passed out. That leaves me with 2,742. There's only 2 thousands left. There are not enough thousands to go between these 3 groups. And so at this point, I have to take those 2 digits all the way to the hundreds. So I have 2,700 or 2,700. My thousands have downgraded and exchanged to hundreds. So now I have 2,700s. Well, I have 3 groups, and 27 is a multiple of 3, and so I can pass out those hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,800, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, 1,800, 1,900, 2,000, 2,100, 2,200, 2,300, 2,400, 2,500, 2,600, 2,700. So I passed out 2,700s evenly among these 3 groups. So I've passed out 2,700s. There were 2,700s. I passed out all 2,700s. I'm left with 4 tens, 2 units, or 42. I'm going to start focusing now on my tens place. There are 4 tens, and so I can pass out 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, I can pass out 3 tens evenly to these 3 groups. So I pass out 3 tens evenly. So I'm left with 1 10 and 2 units. There are not enough tens to go around, and so my tens are going to downgrade and exchange to units. I have 12 units, and I could pass out those units evenly. 3 units, 6 units, 9 units, 12 units. I've passed out the 12 units. So now I can go back and determine the size of just one group. Each group is the exact same size. So I pick my favorite group, this one. There are 2000s. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hundreds, 110, and 4 units. So 2,914 units in each group with no items left over. So now that I have used my scratch paper to work out the problem, and when I do my check, I will put the check on the actual worksheet. I will not put the check on my scratch paper. I will multiply this number, 2,914, by 3. And I should get 8,742. 2,914 times 3. To solve this problem, I will do 3 times 4, then 3 times 10, 3 times 900, finally 3 times 2,000, and I will add and regroup as I go. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3. Add 1. 4. 3 times 9 is 27. 2, 7. 3 times 2 is 6. Add 2. 8,742. This is the answer that I was expecting. And so this answer checks out. I'm going to continue with problem 2 from this worksheet. And so I'm going to skip 2 lines on my scratch paper, write 2 and circle it so I know which problem it is.